this stupidity, okay? Any other girls to come? But Bhutpala I have not taken English.
Which one?
Bhutpala. Why Ananya is not coming today?
She's out.
That boy from that other from I think Avalon Heights has not come in for such a long time. The boy at the back.
Yeah. That foolish fool. Yeah, he's
He's in North Point.
examination.
He's in
Not point, correct.
आज वो मेरे साथ दो बार खेला.
You also played yesterday at night.
Okay, so now today we shall do doctor's journal.
What is Lily's contact to Finland?
Okay. It is on a slant, right? Okay, but I'm not satisfied. Honestly speaking, I'm not satisfied. No.
So like how should I write?
I have written one sentence for you.
That
Same. Like that you write. This is now because it's looking neat because you kept spaces. But in your book, when you write down, you don't keep any space.
Okay, so I'll keep.
Change. You're sleeping. I think when you're writing, you're sitting crooked. That's why.
No, I'm doing more.
You can take any paragraph.
Okay.
Okay. A doctor's journal entry for August 6, 1945. Now, what is this poem about? Write down. It is a destructive poem. Give me an eraser, please. Eraser. Write down, okay? It's a destructive poem. It says, don't write destructive poem. It tells us about the destruction of war. Here. It tells us about destruction of war, sorrow, loss. It tells us about destruction of war, sorrow, loss, and pain. And pain. Okay? It is an anti-war poem. It is an anti-war poem. Telling us about the destruction of the atom bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. On Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Or what's that? Okay, all of you wrote that, finished up.
It tells us about destruction of wars, loss, and an anti-war poem. telling us about the destruction of the atom bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yeah. Now, first of all, why was this bomb thrown? First of all, when is what is the historical time of this poem?
World War.
The World War Two. What the World War One? World War Two. Now, World War Two. What happened is, why was the bomb thrown on Hiroshima and by whom?
By US.
US.
By the
US.
why?
Because Japan was constantly capturing all the islands of East Pacific Ocean.
Any news?
And
Any
it-
reason?
I think so. Infiltrated Pearl Harbor.
They had bombed Pearl Harbor. That was the main crux of the poem of the problem. Hiroshima and Japan in the beginning started the problem. Started the not even started the war, but started the enmity. They threw the bomb on the US and Pearl Harbor, destroyed the harbor, and that caused the retaliation. And the Americans then retaliated by throwing this bomb on
Atom bomb.
atom bomb. Atom bomb. You don't realize in war, nobody questions you, everything is fair, and revenge is very, very strong. Revenge is very
Japan
strong.
did anything for revenge.
Japan started the war and
Like,
they were totally destroyed. What they'll do, dead bodies, they're going to do something. Now, what time did they choose? What time did US choose to throw the bomb? Atom bomb. Atom bomb. When? When? Afternoon? No. No.
Hirohito.
Huh?
Before Hirohito
Before?
Hirohito.
What is Hirohito?
is the Japanese air marshal who commanded
I am talking about the timing of the day.
morning.
Why morning?
Because like
Because-
most of the people were sleeping.
Because what?
Because no shop has actually started.
No.
He said that because no shop was actually
No.
open that.
You? Anyone? Because life had started early in the morning. What is the meaning of that? People put their stoves on, people put their geysers on, people put all their electrical equipment on, and work was starting. And with all that electricity, with all that fire and the bomb, that created worst situation.
No, I think
Huh?
Japan could only be one bomb.
Huh?
Japan could only one bomb in the
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. When you start something, either you do a thorough job of it, don't leave it halfway. But you are aggravating the situation. Though Japan threw a small and only destroyed it, they eventually threw the atom bomb. That was the worst part of it. They were not forgiven. They were not forgiven, but they did it. At that time, they did it. And they were warned not to use the atom bomb, but they didn't care. America did not care. And they chose a time when life was beginning. Everybody was awake. They had put their fans on, the geysers on, the electricity, the ACs on, the stoves were on, food was being made. Okay? Life had started, and with all this fire and electricity being used, the bomb was thrown. That added on to the destruction. Okay? Now here, this is being spoken by the poet, and it's written by Vikram Sheth. Vikram Sheth is a very famous Indian poet who has written beautiful poems. And some of his poems, that is the Frog and the Nightingale, a very interesting poem it is, where he has attributed human qualities in the nightingale and in the frog. How the frog destroyed the nightingale, typical human qualities of jealousy. Now here, the morning stretched calm, beautiful and warm. The morning stretched calm meaning it was during the war. And this is the first morning that was very calm, very serene. Calm means serene, very beautiful, very warm. Japan. Sprawling, half clad, meaning he was relaxing. He was in a relaxing position, spread out, aram se. Half clad means half dressed. Maybe upper portion he had no undergarments, yeah, but lower part he was covered up. Who? The particular doctor. This is a doctor. You're describing the doctor. I gazed out at the form. I gazed out means he was standing and looking out. Gazed means he was looking out, staring out at what? At the form of shimmering leaves and shadows. Shimmering leaves and shadows. Shimmering means shining leaves and shadows. Why shimmering leaves? Why shadows? Why I am looking. Why shimmering leaves? Why shadows? Just morning, early morning rays of the sun were just falling on the leaves. The leaves were shaking and they were shivering, and part of the light, okay, shadow was falling on the ground. So you had shadows. Suddenly, a strong climate in this peaceful, calm, partially light twilight. You can say. No, I wouldn't say twilight. You would say it will be dawn, early dawn. In this half light, half darkness, suddenly he saw a bright light. He saw a strong flash, then another, and that startled me. Startled me means frightened me, and that frightened me. I saw, and what happened after that? I saw the old stone lantern brightly lit. The stone lantern brightly lit. Stone lantern means what? The lantern was made up of stone, and it is a not electricity. It was a gas light. It was a gas light lantern, and it was brightly lit. Suddenly, that small little flame started burning very brightly. Why? Why it burned brightly?
At the moment
Gave out gases, and those gases caught fire. The atom bomb released gases, okay, and then some of those gases are inflammable. So they pass through that small little torchlight and increase the flame. The gases were burning, gases were burning brightly. Okay, gases emitted by the bomb. Magnesium flares. What are magnesium flares?
So when we burn magnesium.
When you burn a magnesium wire with a bright flame, yeah, the absence of magnesium, and then you get your grayish powder called magnesium oxide. And this experiment in the laboratory, yeah, it's a bright flame. Now what happens is these people, when you are in the procession, they carry those spectromaxes. They carry those torches on their head, and you have these barats at night, going at night. The bridegroom is on a horse, wedding, and these people carry the light.
Like umbrella.
No, umbrella no, but light. Those men on the road, they've been hired to carry light, to show the people on the road. No, they carry light. Those are patronaxes. That has got magnesium wire flame in it. So it burns brightly, and the area is very well lit up. So that is the magnesium flare, meaning light. Flare means lights. A flare is a light. Actually, what's the meaning of a flare? What a flare is? A flare is a bright light. How does it come? People used to take a bamboo, tie cloth on top of it, soak it in petrol, and then light it. And then it was burning. That burning is called flare. Now that burning, if it was magnesium put there, it will give you white light. White light, dazzling white light. That is it. What they talking about. While I debated, it means it was going on in my debate. What is happening?
Yeah.
Debating means what is happening? What is happening? While I was thinking, while I was wondering what is happening, I suddenly saw the roof, the walls, and it seemed the whole world collapsed in timber. Suddenly found everything collapsing, breaking down. They were destroyed from the roots. And obviously, if the buildings are falling down, you will not be able to see very clearly because it's full of dust, full of cement bits, it's full of rubble, dust. Okay? The roof, the walls, and it seemed the whole world collapsed in timber. Timber means what? Wood, wooden pieces. Wooden pieces. Why wooden pieces?
Because
Japanese houses are made of wood because of the volcanic region. Japan has got a lot of volcanoes, so they don't have permanent houses. Their houses are all made of wood, timber, and debris. Debris is wreckage. Debris, not debris, debris, not debris. Debris. Debris, S is silent. Debris is wreckage. Dust swirling. Swirling means moving. Dust was moving. The dust was moving. The atmosphere was disturbed. There was wind blowing. And the wind was carrying the dust and the flames of fire.
How did he experience? He
Ah.
was born in 1952.
Huh?
How did he experience it? He was born in 1952.
Who was born in 1952?
Ramsey.
Vikram Sheth may be born in 1952.
He was
But this is a
imagining-
poem that he has written about 1945. You are born now in this year. You can't write an old story about something that's happened many, many years ago when you do research. If you're writing a novel about something,
the people writing about Stone Age.
about
So like
the Stone Age. So if you suppose you're writing down about a particular a love story in the Elizabethan age, if you're writing a story about a love story about the Elizabethan age, you got to go to the archive, you got to go to the library, find out exactly what was the culture, what was the type of dress, what was the way of thinking, their food habit, all that you have to go. It is present, but you're writing about the past. You're writing about the past. Okay, so here, then dust swirled around me in the garden now, and weird. So dust was swirling round and round, okay, around me, and now it came in the garden because he was relaxing in the garden, okay. And weird means something very strange happened. My drawers and undershirt disappeared. Suddenly, his pants and his shirt. You're laughing. You're laughing. His pants and his shirt disappeared, meaning blown off. It was blown up with the impact of the bomb. Okay, blown up, disappeared. It's an exaggeration, this hyperbole, exaggeration, hyperbole, blown up. A splinter jutted from my mangled thigh. What happened immediately after that? He found that his thigh had twisted. Mangled means twisted, and a sharp splinter came out from it. A sharp splinter jutted from my bone. The bone was broken, and as now you laugh. Now you laugh. The thigh had twisted, and one bone was jutting out. Bone injury is very, very painful. Very, because bone is a living tissue. It was very painful. Bone was sharp, part of the bone was jutting out of his twisted thigh, injured thigh. My right side bled. My cheek was torn. My right side bled means the right side of my body was bleeding, and my cheek was torn. And I dislodged detachedly a piece of glass, meaning I pulled out, disturbed pulled out. Detachedly means without connecting to pain, I pulled out a piece of glass. Detached means without feeling pain. At times you can cut and just say, I'm not feeling anything. You can numb your brain. You've got the power to numb your brain and pull out something. You know, you hold tight.
Yeah, like when we
Yeah. You pull, you hold tight, you hold on tight something, and you try to detach yourself. Okay, numb yourself, and then you pulled out that piece of glass. All the time wondering what had come to pass, what had happened. All the time I was wondering what could have brought about this sudden destruction of this morning, peaceful, beautiful morning. Past means happened. What happened? What had brought to pass means what is it that made this happen? Where was my wife? Immediately he thought, where is my wife? Alarmed, frightened. I gave a shout. Where are you? Yoko-san. Yoko is her name, Japanese name. San means my dear. That's a dear, a term of endearment. Yoko-san. San means dear. Yoko dear, where are you? Yoko dear, a term of endearment. Yoko-san, where are you? My blood gushed out. Gushed out means flowed out in spurts, gushing out. But the heart is pumping. It's gushing out. Okay? The artery in my neck, scared artery, aorta. Aorta is inside. Aorta is inside. This will be superior vena cava. Superior vena cava. That was a cut, and in my neck. I was scared for my life. I was scared for my life. I called out panic stricken to my wife. Plain.
Panic stricken.
Fright. Panic means I was absolutely out of control. I panicked. I could not control what was happening to me. I could not control panic. I just was totally out of control, filled with fright. When you are filled with fright and out of control, it's called a panic situation. Okay? Now here, what happened to it here to him here?
Pale.
Blood stained, blood pale, blood stained and frightened. Yoko-san emerged. She was pale, she was blood stained, she was frightened, and she came from inside. She came from inside because she heard him call. Holding her elbow, she was holding her elbow. Why? That means it must have
She was injured.
it was pricked, maybe injured. We'll be fine, I urged. Meaning he saw the pale and the fright on her look and he tried to reassure her. We'll be fine. I urged means I kept on telling her, coaxing her. Let's get out quickly. Why quickly?
Then how can he see quickly?
Huh?
How can he see quickly?
How can?
How can he see quickly? Because his bone is broken in the thigh.
With whatever is left, with willpower. Bone may be broken, but his willpower, they get out quickly because his house could collapse on him. His house
He
could
could
collapse.
die.
He could die there.
At least they are like living.
He is still living. Never mind in a broken state, but he's still living. Stumbling to the street. How he left? He was stumbling onto the street in the open. We fell. We tripped by something at our feet. I gasped or I shouted. I screamed. I got frightened when I saw it was a head. Someone's head was lying on the ground and he tripped over it. That means he still got life. That person has lost his life. Excuse me, please excuse me. Now he hit that head and he's feeling sorry because it's human head. And then say, excuse me, I'm sorry, I kicked your head. He was dead. A gate had crushed him. There we stood afraid. A gate had crushed him. There we stood afraid. A house standing before us tilted and swayed. A house that was standing still tilted and swayed. It toppled and it crashed. And when it crashed, fire sprang up in the dust. Friction. Fire sprang up in the dust. Spread by the wind, and the fire spread the wind. The wind spread the fire. The wind spread the fire. It dawned on us we must go to the hospital. We needed help. They were doctors, both of them. They needed help. People around needed help.
Everyone needed it.
Everybody needed help. Now, and I should help my staff too. He has said, forget about myself. I've got to help my staff who may be in the hospital still. Though this made sense to me then, I wondered how I could act. Though this made sense to me, means though this thought that I have to go and help my staff, it made sense. But I was wondering how I would do it. I was wondering how I would do it. Why and how? He himself needed help. And there were so many people. Who is he going to help? Who is he going to choose to help first? I wondered how I could. My legs gave way, meaning my leg lost courage. I was tired. My legs gave way. I lost courage. I was tired. I sat down on the ground. Are you following the poem? You're not writing anything. I can't see you writing anything. Now, thirst seized me. He was thirsty. Why? Because he was panicked. Then the eye was dry, the air was hot, fire was all around. It made him thirsty. And washed my breath. Thirst seized me, but no water could be found. My breath was short, but bit by bit my strength seemed to revive. He was breathing very short breaths because he couldn't take long breaths. Dust and dirt and cement would go inside. He was taking short breaths, and then little by little he seemed that his strength began to come back to him. Revive means come back to him. Whatever he lost, he got back. And I got up at length. At last, at length means at last, after a long time, I got up. At length means after a long time, I got up. I was still naked, but I felt no shame. Why I didn't feel any shame?
Because everyone was
Everyone-
naked.
Everybody was in the same situation, or everybody was dead. Dead people cannot see, they have got no eyes. Hello, even you are laughing.
He's laughing.
I'm looking at your face, you're also laughing. You can't see your face, but I can see your face, you foolish fool. So, why was he not at all ashamed? Because everybody was in the same state, or perhaps nobody was around to see his nakedness. This thought disturbed me somewhat till I came upon a soldier standing silently. This thought that people may see me, this thought that people may see me, it disturbed him a little. He was a doctor. He was a respectable person, isn't it? Then he came upon a soldier who was standing silently, very quietly, who gave a towel round his neck to me. There was a towel round his neck. He took that towel and gave it to him to cover up his nakedness.
Soldier survive.
Huh?
How is it? Soldier just standing still. How is the soldier standing still?
He was shocked. When you're shocked, you don't know what to do. You're just frozen.
Wasn't he damaged?
No, it appeared that he was not damaged. Nothing happened to him. It appeared that nothing happened to him. So he took. How? I don't know. So he took the towel and out of graciousness he gave it to this man to cover up his nakedness. My legs were stiff with dried blood. The blood dried up so soon. Why? Because of the heat. Because of the heat. And my legs stiff with dried blood rebelled. Rebel means fought back. I'm trying to push my body ahead, but my legs are fighting back. They're not moving because they're stiff with blood, they're tired, and they're damaged. I said to Yoko-san, she must go ahead. I can't walk. I'm not able to go to the hospital. You don't remain here with me. You go ahead. You go ahead, you give yourself first aid, and you also give the help to the staff. Don't wait for me.
Did the hospital collapse?
It appeared it didn't collapse. It appeared it didn't collapse. She did not wish to go. She did not wish to leave him alone. She wanted him to come along with her. But in our distress, what choice had we? But we were in this situation, and she would be foolish to wait for me and get further damage. And she could have gone and got treatment for herself and got treatment and given help to somebody else. She was needed there. A dreadful loneliness came over me when she had gone. Once she had gone, he felt very, very lonely. He felt very, very lonely because she was his support. When you have a problem, always two people are better than one. The moment she left and went, he felt very lonely. Lonely. My mind ran at high speed, my body felt behind. My mind was racing. What shall I do next? What can I do next? And the body was lagging behind. Along with his mind, the body was also trying to move ahead. Physically, the body was not moving. Mentally, his mind was racing. Okay? I saw the shadowy forms of people. Some were ghosts, some scarecrows. All were worldless dumb. I saw the shadowy form of people. Shadowy form means it was very, very. Huh? No, shadowy means it was all full of dust and it was very hazy, not clear, so you could see those people moving up and down. Huh?
Figures.
Figures. He saw these figures moving up and down. They were like ghosts. Why like ghosts? Because they were walking quiet, now no talking, no action, just walking. Some scarecrows, some of them were walking like this. Scarecrows are like this. All were wordless. They had not spoken. Everybody was not speaking. They were dumb. Arms stretched straight out, shoulder to dangling hand. Arms were stretched out straight. Why were the arms stretched out
Because
straight?
like they could feel any object.
No, because the flesh was so burned, flesh touching to flesh was paining them.
Oh, yeah.
So they kept it hard, and one arm must have been hanging also. One, the arm which was okay was kept far away so that this flesh would not touch this flesh. It would burn. So they kept them far away and this hand was dangling. This hand was broken. It was dangling. Dangling hand. It took some time for me to understand the friction on their burns caused so much of pain. Why are they walking like that? Why? Because the friction, if the hand had to, if the flesh had to rub against flesh, the burn, the pain was so intense, so they felt that they should keep their hands above flesh, not touching flesh. They feared to shaft flesh against flesh again. To shaft means to rub. They feared to rub flesh against flesh again and again. Shaft means rub. Those who could shove in a blind parade, shuffle, and those who could walk, they were walking, shuffling. They couldn't pick up their feet, they were shuffling in a blind parade. Blind means absolutely faces blank. They couldn't think, they lost the power of thinking. They couldn't think, they couldn't talk, they were just blind, walking like zombies. Walking like zombies. Too shocked to think, to understand what really struck their peacefulness. Towards the hospital, they were walking in a parade, one behind the other, one leading the other, because it was all full of dust. Nobody could see anything. It was early in the morning. So one followed the other slowly to the hospital. The hospital had fallen down. I saw dismayed. Dismayed means shocked. Shocked. A woman with a child stand in my path. She saw a woman with a child in her path. Meaning he was walking. He was also walking. Though he told his wife to go, he was coming slowly. In his pathway, he saw a woman with a child. Both were naked and they come back from the bath. In Japan, they used to have these community baths. Community baths. People would all bathe together. Mainly grandmothers with the grandchildren. And when the grandmother, that is the Japanese custom, the grandmothers bathe the babies and the grandmothers are naked, the babies are naked, they have body to body touch. That is the way the child gets contact or touch with the grandmother. The way newborn baby. So they all go to this community bath and all of them are together and the grandmothers are with the grandchildren, not the mothers but the grandmothers.
Like male makers,
Or grandmothers.
like the babies.
It could be
a boy or girl.
It's a baby, just to keep skin to skin contact. Skin to skin contact. So the grandmother is naked and the baby, of course, is naked. So both of them are having a bath together and they're bonding. That's a Japanese culture. Okay? Both were naked. Had they come back from the bath, had they gone to the community bath and come back, he's asking himself. I turned my gaze, but was at a loss. I turned my gaze means I looked away. I couldn't bear to see this this naked woman with a child. This is not a old woman. This is a young woman with a child. She was naked not because she came from the bath. She was naked because of the yes, but he was also naked. She was also naked. He had the privacy of having the towel around his neck because the soldier gave it to him. But this lady was helpless. Okay, I turned my gaze, but was at a loss that she should stand thus. I came across a naked man. I was at a loss. I was not able to understand how this lady in her nakedness is standing like that. Okay, I was at a loss. And then when I looked around, I came across a naked man. Everybody was the same, naked man. And now the thought arose. Now I realized what was happening. That some strange thing had stripped us of our clothes. Something had happened and taken away all our clothes. The face of an old woman on the ground. An old woman was dead. She was on the ground, was marred with suffering, but she made no sound. Means filled was destroyed. Marred means destroyed with suffering. Her face was destroyed with suffering. She made no sound. She made no sound.
Dead, right? So how can she
No.
make sound?
If she could be, even if she made a sound, who's there to hear? Everybody is in the same situation. You're going to cry, oh, my hand is broken. Arey, that fellow is dead. That fellow has got every part of his body, but you're crying and telling people you're troubled. To whom? Who's there to hear? Everybody's in the same situation. So best thing is keep your mouth shut and reserve whatever energy you have. Yeah. They made no sound. Silence was common to us all. All of us were silent. All of us were frightened. All of us were scared. I heard no cries of anguish, not a single word. Nobody cried out with anguish. Nobody cursed. Nobody did anything. Everybody was shocked. And everybody was in the same situation. Okay? That was the entry he put in his diary. Now read, and if you have any difficulty, ask me, I'll explain. Read the poem. Have you done this poem in school? Come on, again. Dean, how old are you? 14. 14 in the 9th standard. You?
Almost.
Not
Very
15.
confused.
15.
In August, I turned
14. You have already completed 14. You
Yes, for 14.
complete 14. You will be 14 in August. And you, that girl, 15 this year. I asked you to read the poem.
Not drawers. Drawers. By drawers, I don't know.
Drawers are underpants. Drawers are underpants. Loose underpants, not briefs. Not briefs, but loose underpants. What is your brother doing now?
He went to college. He went to the college.
Which college?
VIT.
Huh?
VIT.
VIT.
In Metro.
Huh? Vellore. Vellore Institute of Technology. What percentage you got in the 12th standard now? What percentage you got?
91.
It doesn't come to Bombay. Well, always.
No. He went like there is a real estate.
Why you didn't come to see me? I told you to ask him to see me, no? Does he remember me?
Sure.
What does he remember? What does he remember of me?
That you are a chemistry
Chemistry?
and English teacher.
Like talking English.
No, he did not used to come for English, but we knew that he also taught.
I think his handwriting also is not very good. Huh? Something like that. Huh?
And you gave it.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I think I used to give him also some work like that to do.
And
Something like that. Huh? Something I remember this boy. Very clever boy, but he would write very.
Like it's
Come on, finish reading. I want to know your problems. Quickly, ask questions. Then I'm going to ask your questions. I'll give you questions to write.
we will do that same thing like yesterday. Like quiz, like what is it?
First, you finish what is there in your volume. The volume questions have to be completed. Hurry up. I don't want to give you homework. Do everything in the classroom.
Can I start with the volume?
Have you read?
Yeah.
Okay. First, read the question and answer that have been solved in the volume. Then go for the writing. What is the first chapter in chemistry?
Language of chemistry.
And the second one?
Chemical changes and
Chemical.
changes in reaction.
What is it? Chemical?
Changes in reaction.
Oh. You all want that also, no? Read up here.
He wanted chemical changes and reactions.
Only first chapter you wanted.
I wanted like that one decomposition,
he wanted.
decomposition.
Okay.
I like about double decomposition reaction.
Kind of that.
Chemical changes and
Chemical changes and reaction.
have you finished?
Yes.
Have you started writing?
It's
Not you, the boy at the back of you.
for the fourth one, like, um, what is the speaker's main concern? For this question, that what is the speaker's main concern as the disaster unfolds? So it would be his own safety, the safety of his wife, or the safety of
And the
his
staff, all three, all three.
Head body. Using of head body.
Head
Why
body,
it's printing mistake? It should be dead body.
dead body. Not head body, dead body. That much you don't know. What?
Stupid.
He wanted to crack a joke.
That's so funny.
Shh. What are entertaining at me? Have you started writing that? I want to read your answer. Give it to me for correction. I'll keep you here all night.
You had to correct my descriptive essay of last class. He was like halfway there and the bell rang.
I told you to do something. Now we will do it. I said check your work. There's a lot of mistakes in that. That's what I told you. So check it at first.
Patients are
What do you feel? So,
It's
it's like this horns, like, which branch